Good morning to all that are listening to me this morning, and we thank God for you, and we thank God for you wherever you are, and thank God for your interest in the church and your Christian service. This morning I stand before you. We are preparing a service for Father's Day in New Bethel RE Church, and as we have done since the latter part of March, we come in this place and we look across a totally empty church building. Not one person is seated in the pew in front of me, which is so odd, but that's what is pretty much mandated of us during this time of the coronavirus. Many of you have asked me, when are we going to get back into our church? Well, I simply do not have the answer for that. And I don't think anybody else does, but we do know that nothing much has changed since we left out in March. The virus is still rampant, it's still dangerous, and if we just walk back into church today, we put ourselves in grave danger. I know some have the tendency to say that, if you have faith, you could come back to church and just trust the Lord and everything's going to be all right. Well, I don't know if I would agree with that at all, because when we read the book of Acts, when Paul was taking his journey to Rome, they were going by ship. And before they left, before they departed, he urged the ship owner and the captain of the ship not to sail because there was danger ahead. And when he couldn't convince them not to sail, they got on the ship and they sailed off to Rome. But en route to Rome, they came across a terrible storm. And Paul reminded them that he told them not to sail, but since they insisted on sailing, the Lord had visited him and told him that the ship was going to be destroyed, the cargo was going to be destroyed, but he would save their lives. So they were told not to sail off into a storm. We just don't believe it's wise to sail off into this storm of coronavirus. And we don't know, cannot explain exactly what the Lord is doing in times like this. But I will go so far as to say that while we are not in service, the Lord has provided other means for us to preach the gospel and minister to His people. We still have a Wednesday night Bible study going, and we have just as many people in the Bible study now as we did when we came into the church. We are still broadcasting a service every Sunday, and it's available all week long. You can pick it up any day. You can listen to it more than one time if you like. We don't know why the Lord has allowed it to be this way, but one thing we do know is where we were having a certain number seated in the congregation on Sunday morning, now we're having sometimes twice that many listening or watching or viewing the service by way of YouTube. Now, when we have twice as many viewing on YouTube according to the view numbers, we really have no way of knowing exactly how many people are watching, because one person may turn the computer or TV on and there might be 5 or 6 people in the house. We don't know. But we are just yielding to the will of the Lord, and whatever God chooses to do through us at this time, we are willing to be used by Him. So just continue serving the Lord where you are, continue being faithful, continue to feed on God's Word, and the day will come when God will have a new plan for us going forward, and we look forward to that day, and we certainly look forward to the day when we will look across this congregation, and there you will all be seated and we'll be singing and praising God together. So God bless you, and may you have a joyful day in Christ.